Hey everyone, my name's Witchy. Welcome to my first ever actually edited video. This is going to be my tutorial on how to get to South Plains from the Central Swamps Deinosuchus spawn. If you're looking for the version with no voiceover, that'll be found in the short form video format. Just check the description for the link. So without further ado, let's get to this. So this is my first attempt in the video at traveling to South Plains as a Deinosuchus. I spawned at around the northeastern area of the Central Swamps, and I didn't start recording until like a few minutes after. Uh, Took me about 15 minutes to get to where I was hoping to get to. Um, but the travel time would have been a lot longer had I succeeded in the first attempt. I make this trip all the time. I'm just not the best at making it all the time. It depends on certain things, and you'll see what caused me to fail near the end. But this is I just got unlucky, I'd say. I traveled for the most part south, southwest, and west, mostly to get to where I needed to go. And yeah, we just swim and walk on land until we get there, or well, run. No, I'm like, sure you see me pause every now and then. I'm just typing in the chat, or I'm reading chat and focus a little bit. I do have the names blocked out in chat for privacy reasons. I'm not sure if everyone there wants to be involved in content creation, and seeing as I didn't ask beforehand, I am just gonna block out their names and my own, and just any name mentions are also gonna get blocked out just for, privacy reasons. The chat moves really fast, so it's a bit annoying to do that. But, you know, I'm just running to where I need to go, and you'll see that, like, I'm not all that worried about my water levels or my stamina. And initially, I wasn't all that worried about my hunger. I did just get attacked by a pig, as I'm sure you saw moments ago. Uh, I hate pigs in this, I swear. The route, once you're in the water, is pretty easy, assuming you don't have to walk through more water. The northeastern area of the central swamps is a pretty nice spot to start from in terms of how much land you travel through. If you go from the southeastern spawn point, it's not as fun, but it's still doable. And it's just navigating can be irritating right over there, you know? And like I'm kind of keeping an eye out on food. I'm not sure you kind of can't tell right now because I'm walking. And like it's what I do when I look under. I'm just looking for food. Something you really want to do when you're traveling to South Plains is keeping an eye out for food. And to my disdain, I did not find any. I'm doing a little trick. It doesn't work everywhere. It definitely doesn't work in South Plains. Um, I tried waiting a minute or two. It didn't really work. And then we had the corpse wipe. One of my buddies was trying to save me my old corpse because I had gotten killed by a Stegosaurus. Whoopsies. Which is, kind of the whole reason I made this video ultimately. Is because I died and I was heading back anyway. Might as well do it. And also because someone asked me to, so they didn't know and I didn't want to show them. I guess I'm just showing them here, I suppose. Um, but yeah, I waited a long time for food to spawn. Nothing ever ended up spawning. And as the time goes on, you'll just see me like swim back and forth just looking for something, anything to eat, even schooling fish. Nothing spawned. I'm wondering if it might have been the player count. Normally, uh, anything below 30s players is okay for AI spawns, but I wasn't getting any, so and once it was below 10 players, there was a lot more AI than before. I don't know. I don't understand the AI all that much in this game. Like, I've been on when there's 80 people and there's a lot of AI, and then I'm on when there's 4 and there's no AI, or vice versa sometimes. Always fun. You'll see here that I'm like about to starve in like less than a few moments. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. Um, The this is where I start to slowly die, and I'm just starting to get a little bit more desperate looking for food. I sometimes wonder if maybe I should have just gone straight to the next checkpoint and maybe just hope I find food. And I tried swimming underneath without using the little trick. Tried a lot of methods. I thought I saw a fish at one point, a few points, and it was just shadows or rocks playing tricks on my eyes. It was a very unfortunate day for me. Or, well, hour, I suppose. I spent like, I think half of this segment of video just looking for food. Yeah, I just kind of give up, honestly, and just accept my fate, which is just kind of how it went. But yeah, just slowly dying from starvation because no AI would spawn and I was in the red. No, that's just the sad part. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Anyway, now I create a new croc. As you can see, I click Deinosuchus. I'm running female because I've been trying to nest. And I've been going with an all-white croc out of pure spite towards the very frequent and very common cannibal crocs in South Plains. They are always all the way white or they are brown with orange markings. That is the most common cannibal crocs I've seen so far. Like the ones that team up against you, you know? Um, but yeah, I'm just making that, and then I need to wait for my spawn cooldown because I died. And then it's just waiting. So while we wait, hi. um, just it's just a wait, and it's not a fun wait. I'm just sitting here, and I'm not sure what to say or do. And here's the oh so lovely awkward talking. I hope you enjoy everything. Oh wait, the next bit of the video is going to be map explanation. I went back just to mess with the croc design a little bit, or maybe just look at a picture. I'm not really sure what I was doing. So here's our map of the swamps in South Plains. I'm going to explain the route to you guys real quick before I get into the successful attempt. When you spawn in central swamps as a Deinosuchus, you'll more often than not spawn around where I've marked as point A. Point B, being our goal, is marked accordingly as well. However, it isn't a straight shot to South Plains from the swamps. Trying to do that will only get you killed, really. It's important to reach certain checkpoints before going to the rivers. On this second marked map, I've added 3 more points and made the original point B the final step. Our new point B is the area within the swamp that we need to reach and where we are more likely to find food to feed our baby Deinosuchus. At point B, you'll pretty much head straight west towards point C. Within point C, Meadowbrush Pond, you'll find schooling fish, elite fish, and bullfrogs that spawn in the water. At the pond, recover stamina, water, and food before you continue. Once you're ready to move out, you're going to want to head northwest to Point D, the saltwater lake. This segment of the trip can sometimes leave very little room for error, so I do recommend watching the sped up travel video to better understand the journey. Upon reaching Point D, you can swim to the right path and recover stamina in the saltwater lake. Just don't drink it. You may think you're close, but you still need to get in the freshwater rivers. Again, it's easier explained in the travel video than this explanation. So, why don't we just get to that? As you can see, I've spawned. I'm setting up my mutations as you just saw. I'm going to start by explaining stamina and stamina regen. You want to make sure your stamina remains at above 60%. As a fresh spawn, your stamina doesn't drain when you swim as a Deinosuchus most of the time, I don't think. Yeah, no. Sorry. The hunger drains first, but when you run on land, that's when your stamina drains. Your hunger doesn't get hit then. It's very similar with most other dinos, except other dinos, it just drains. The hunger drains on land because they don't swim. But you want to keep your stamina above 60% when you're running on land in order to allow yourself to recover stamina when you're not running. You'll learn in time the general areas where each percentage is. You'll see I had some issues every now and then. I've begun my run rate here. You'll watch me like try to keep an eye on my stamina and not go over the limit. Like just then I went over the limit and I'm gonna have to start Z walking. You Z walk, you move a little bit slower, but it does help you recover that excess stamina. Z walking will only recover that stamina above 40%. If you're below 40%, that stamina will not recover. The but I just I'm sorry. I'm just running. I got a little bit excited here and thought, "Oh, hey, there's water." I was wrong. I was very wrong. Do not do that. Unless you 100% know there's water, don't do that. I am now resting and I'm just kind of showing my mistake in being visibly frustrated on the screen. Um, and you'll see every now and then that I'm not too worried about my thirst, even though it gets really low. At times, I don't think it gets low during this period, this like short video bit. Um, but I'm trying to keep an eye on my stamina, waiting for it to get to 60. When I'm moving my mouse up and down, it's to update it. And now I know I can walk, and there's the water. Now I can run, and then I can swim faster. Your stamina will regenerate from 0 without any movement or with movement under the water as a dino, as a Beppy. But those are the only two, actually, I believe. Um, right now I'm just trying to get to the area want to, and I think at some point I sniffed up some S or protein, which is, important for me to eat. I thought it was a bullfrog initially, and I was thinking, oh, it must be those tacos. It wasn't. You're about to see actually what it was. So yeah, that's a fun thing. As I got closer to it, I was a little bit worried there was like a dinosaur nearby or another croc even. I think I checked the player count out of fear. And then when I actually got under, I saw what I thought was a croc or a rock, and I got a little bit spooked. And then that's when I realized I died, and that was my corpse. But you know what? Food. It ended up sustaining my hunger and gave me perfect diet. I got to grow a little bit. I ate the whole thing, including the bones. I think it's very important you do that. Just, personal opinion. You'll see me like ripping my corpse to shreds here. Just because you starve to death, you'll still get all the diets if you eat the organs. I really do think you should eat the organs. If you don't know how to get them, you just spam E and then push G to tear them out. Now, I'm recovering my water right now, and it took me about 24 minutes, 34 minutes, I think, to get there. And sometimes it takes less, sometimes it takes more. Now, I've reached point B. This is point B right here. And now I'm heading towards point C, heading straight west. Right here is, important to manage your stamina really well because you don't want to sit too long resting. You don't want to worry too much about your thirst. As long as you're doing the movement properly, it's no big deal. And it shouldn't be too much of a worry for anyone. the It's very important to realize that when I left, I was at like that very edge of the shore. You want to head west straight from there, and you see the stand patch that's like halfway almost ish. I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure how to explain it. I, you know, there's this wall to my right. You don't want to run into the wall either. When I say you head straight west, you head straight west, but you run into that wall, you might be delayed a little bit. Again, if you do run into the wall, don't freak out. Just go left, walk around it, get up the hill. The hill will take you to the pond you're trying to go to. uh, Stressing or freaking out can make the trip a little bit more dangerous. Most instances, if you do it properly, the most amount of damage should still leave you in blue. You shouldn't, reach yellow even. If you do reach yellow, you'll heal up quick on your way to the South Plains, assuming you restore all your stats. properly. I hit red just then, and the goal is don't freak out. Right here, I use that tree on just to my left of the center of my screen as a little marker of readjusting camera if I'm not heading the right direction, and there's the pond. Um, I'm always scared by those logs that there's going to be crocs and whatnot. You see that I drank the water before I dove down. I recover water a little bit faster drinking it. I don't use a lot of survival mutations like um, reabsorption and stuff. I think reabsorption, my bad, makes it so you recover the water ever so slightly faster. But yeah, bullfrogs, elite fish, and schooling fish will spawn here. And it took me uh 17 minutes to get here from my location, from point B. And the times vary. They really do between the areas. I was just marking them for personal reference because I like timing myself. And here I'm just, recovering stamina, recovering thirst. Once your stamina's above 60, you don't need to worry too much unless you really want to go fast. And then you just go northwest. Now, there is a very specific ledge going north at west that you want to that you want to reach because trying to go in an L shape is going to screw you over. I learned that the hard way. That's when I left. So now I head northwest and I see that little corpse there. I had a complete heart attack. I was worried I was going to run into a carnivore that was going to try to kill me. I was fine. Like everything was fine. But I'm walking towards a ledge right now. When I approach the ledge, it's not where I need to fall quite yet, but it's past this tree, and you'll see that I'm watching the ledge trying to find the spot I need to fall down from. It's that spot right there on our right that, you want to go down this ledge. Don't freak out about falling. You want to make sure you slide, so don't sprint down. If you sprint down, you'll die. You'll take fall damage. Sliding is like a godsend save, I suppose. And then you head more west than north. You want to follow that sandy path for a little bit, almost. And it's like, you'll see again, your thirst will be low. Don't freak out about your thirst. I know a few people, including myself at one point, who would always freak out when my thirst entered red. You have like a good 5 minutes before it's a big problem. Sometimes you have 15. I don't know the exact timing. I think it's 5 minutes actually, but I think it was 15 for hunger, but I don't know if it's the same for thirst. Now, I'm sprinting towards the salt water a little bit, but I'm trying not to sprint to preserve stamina. And in the salt water, you will recover stamina, as I previously mentioned, and you won't recover thirst. Don't drink the thirst. And you just kind of swim to that location that I'm going to now. And then you want to go up that ledge. Don't try to go around the lake. A lot of people try that crap, and it doesn't really work. And yes, I just killed the chicken because it would have tried to kill me. They always try to kill you. But yeah, it took me an hour and 2 minutes to get here. And here's just some random fluff of me doing shit, purely because, you know, it's. I hope I explained this well enough for anyone watching. If not, super sorry. I might not be the best person to give a tutorial. Thank you so much.